Shalom, Apostle Tahak, back at you once again with this truth. Giving all praise to Yahweh by Shem Shai. Giving a hearty shalom or shalom to you brothers that are out there doing the work. Excuse me. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this one, Learn How to Be an Asshole. All right? Learn how to be an asshole. And that's a quote from a movie called Vanilla Skies. You should watch that movie starring Tom Cruise. It's a good movie, spiritual movie. Because when it came out in the theaters, I said I ain't gonna see that. And then maybe a couple years later, I rented it. That's when they had the different rentals, the Hollywood Video, Blockbuster. That's back in that time when you used to go and rent DVDs. It was actually a DVD. So I rented it, and I rented a couple other. You get the deal, you buy 3, you get a better deal. So I got maybe 2 more movies besides that when I saw it, and I got all into it, right? And I said, this is a good movie. It's a good movie, very spiritual movie, But in the movie, Tom Cruise played an individual, I forget his name. His father owned I believe it was a magazine or TV guide or whatever. So it was a major company, and his father died, and he took over. They had among the CEOs, the top of the company, you had these Edomites. I think 6 of them were Edomite men, and 1 was an Edomite woman. And they were old. They came up with his father, and they behind his back, they would talk shit about him. And there was this one guy, an English guy. He was like a colleague. He was part of the company. I forget his position, but he was close to the Tom Cruise character, and he loved the Tom Cruise character, And he saw what was going on. He told him, he said, them people are plotting against you, because his father owned 51% or more than 51% of the company or the corporation. So they basically wanted to get rid of him. He said, man, we remember this kid, down the hallway on a skateboard, and we got to respect this guy. And this guy was, he's in the women, fast cars. He would come to work late and all that. He was living a life. Even in the movie, I think, he said, living the life, baby, living the life. But you got to see the movie. It's you'll get into the movie, all right? And it has a spiritual aspect to the movie, too. Very deep spiritual movie. Anyway, the guy said, look, they're talking behind your back. They're saying this about you, they're saying that about you. They want to get you out of there, And then what the dude said, he said, you gotta. He said America's gonna read again, to read these magazines, because they were losing. The company was kind of going down, so they had to build it back up. But he was supposed to be the captain of the ship, right? So the dude said, we got to get things rolling again, get that passion back. And he said, basically, he said, and I quote, he said it this way. He said, learn how to be an asshole. And as soon as he said that, I knew exactly what he meant. Meaning, if you want things done, the nice guy Eddie approach is not going to always work. You could be a nice guy. I'm talking about in this work. I'm dealing with this work, dealing with the work right now. You can be a nice guy, but sometimes you got to be an asshole. You have different levels in this truth. Not everybody's going to come in on the same level. You got guys that are on fire. You got guys that the scriptures speak about. I'm not going to go into that scripture, all right? Because I got what about 5 or 6 scriptures set up anyway. I don't want to make this too long. The scriptures speak about some, I believe it's in Matthew 13. Talks about the seed falling on stony ground, and the seed falling by the wayside. Then you have seed that fall on fertile ground and begins to grow. Keyword grow. And when that seed grew into a plant, which we had those seeds that grow into plants, it says the Lord, the Yahweh Shai said, we're going to get fruit. And it said some 100-fold. I think it said some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. So you got guys in this thing that are on the 100-fold level. You got other guys that's on the 60-fold level. You got other guys that's on the 30-fold level. They get that working, but they're not on the level of a 100-fold guy. And that's in every camp. That's in every camp. You got guys that are on fire. You got guys that are so in the middle. Then you got lukewarm guys. And the Lord hates a lukewarm brother. That's why he made the statement that's why he said what he said in Revelation, the 3rd chapter. He said, because you're not hot or cold, neither hot nor cold, because you are lukewarm, I will spew. The word spew means to spit. Like if you taste something that's bad, you quickly spit it out your mouth. You don't say, well, I don't know, it tastes funny, but let me keep eating it. Nah, you spit it out of your mouth. It's a bad taste in your mouth. So that's what the Lord meant by that, man. And the Most High is going to spew more so-called brothers out of the truth. Now, the reason why I call this learn how to be an asshole, because you brothers that are on that level, you know the guys who's dragging their feet, who you got to damn near beat the shit out of them, excuse my French, to make them to do a video. I put an order out there that everybody in GMS, and I said, guys that's been in this thing for a year, because if you've been in this thing for a year and you're still trying to figure out what you got to do, man, you don't need to be up in here, man. You don't need to be up in the circle. And I'm going to say this too, man. Don't be doing no damn news article things with no goddamn crackers, man. Oh, another thing, man. That coming out here to visit the apostles, that's we ain't gonna do that no more for a while. That's suspended, man. And when it kicks back in, the only ones that's gonna come out are the heads, man. Maybe the first in command, the second in command, the third in command, maybe the fourth, maybe the fourth and the fifth. You ain't bringing out your Aunt Betty and JoJo and Uncle T. And your cousin Laquita. That's out, man. The only ones that's gonna come up in here, but it's suspended. The only one. So the you brothers that made a plan to come out here, hey, I'm sorry, man. That's how it is, man. You know, the order then went down. You got to deal with it, baby. Until things, get straight. Because right now, we're in the house cleaning, man. You got a lot of guys with their hands in their pocket. You got a lot of guys looking up, don't know what the hell you tell them to pick up a sign. They pick up the wrong sign, then they will get the right sign. The sign is upside down. They want to go to the bathroom all the damn time. If you ain't on fire, don't be in this thing, man. And we're going to start cutting guys too. Just like in football, right? All right, this is an article. It says, Outcast NFL wife goes off on Twitter again after Dolphins cut her husband. I'm not going to read the whole story. Okay, it says on Wednesday, the Miami Dolphins released a cornerback, Brent Grimes, a move that was expected and had the expected effects on his wife. Now, why did his wife go off? Because she ain't gonna get them goodies. When you get a contract with the NFL, you get millions, man. If you're an NFL player on any team, you get millions. They're millionaires, man. So they get the little trophy wife, and the reason why she's with you, she probably came up with you in high school and college, high school sweetheart and all that. But she stayed with you because she knew you were going to do big things. And you're going to bring them goodies in. All right? And you guys out there, don't get it twisted. You guys that are into a lot of money and you got a woman or more than one woman, man, and it doesn't necessarily mean she's with you because she loves you, man. She loves what you got. All right? She loves them goodies. So she lost it, man. But now why did this guy, I don't have to go into the story. You see movies on this, man. This happens in real life, man. Being cut from a team. They'll bring you in the office and your locker, the locker's in the back, right? Your name is on the locker, right? They have that meeting, then they'll tell you that you're cut from the team. You know, they'll give you a little story, they'll hug you and all that. And then you come in there and you get your shit from the locker. And your name ain't, no, they pull your name out. You know, you get your stuff. And then they pull the name out, right? Then they put somebody else's name up in there. Now, why do they do that? Because you haven't made the cut, so to speak. You know, you haven't, you know, they expect a big thing from you. And you might have been good for 2 years, 3 years. And then they realize, they analyze everything, man. They analyze everything. And then these guys even quote scriptures too. All right? So anyway, we're in the housekeeping, learn how to be an asshole. I'm going to read some scriptures here. All right, I'm going to read Jeremiah 20, verse 7. It says, O Yahweh, thou hast deceived me, and I was deceived. This is Jeremiah, of course. Thou art stronger than I. I have prevailed. I am in derision daily. Everyone mocketh me. So we're being mocked. You got the scorners that come on there talking shit. You know, you got these guys from the Alpha and Omega crew, led by James White, coming up against us. All right. So we're in derision daily, man. And another thing, you got a lot of you guys that stay behind the camera, man, because you're ashamed of the gospel. And the Most High gonna get rid of you, man. If you're a leader in a camp, you're supposed to be on the forefront, man. What, you think this is a game? 8th verse. For since I spake, I cried out. I cried violence and spoil, because the word of the Most High was made a reproach unto me and a derision daily. So, you know, Jeremiah was having second thoughts. First of all, he told the Most High, I ain't ready to do this, I'm too young. Most High said, look, you're a prophet of the Lord. You're going to have to go out there as a young man and you have to deal with these deep, demon-filled Israelites. And they did some things to him too, and he had to endure them. Ninth verse. Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name. What is the Most High's name? What is the Most High's name? Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Not no goddamn Ahaya by Hashem Yeshaya. The Most High is going to destroy the GOCC. And not no Jesus the Christ. The Most High, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, is going to destroy the IUIC. The Most High is going to destroy the ISUPK and all the rest of you damn demons, you reprobates. It says, then I said, and let me say this here, man. This clown, General Yohana, you know what the people said? They said GMS, we always stand out in a bad way. GMS is the most extreme. And we take that as a compliment, man. He said, one of the guys said, GMS, of all the groups, GMS is the most extreme. I'm telling you that these devils be watching us, man. They analyze all the camps. They said, then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name. But his word was in my heart as a burning fire shut up in my bones. And I was weary with forbearing, and I could not stay. In other words, he went out, he said, I could not stay, meaning I could not go to that place where I'm not around Israel. So the Spirit made him come back and prophesy to the children of Israel. Because it was a fire in his bone. If you don't have that passion, man, and when you look up the word passion, passion means pain. Hey, in boxing, right, I was watching a video on this guy, Vasily Lomachenko. That's a bad dude. That's a bad dude. From the Ukraine, I believe, or one of them former Soviet bloc nations. You got to see this dude train, man. I seen this dude spar 3 boxers at the same time. This guy does backflips. He does a handstand. He jumps on his knuckles and he bounces on his knuckles in the handstand, man. This guy does some crazy shit. And when he fights, nothing but fire, man. So I was watching one video, and behind the video, it said they have, like, if you go to a boxing gym, they have these different slogans: no pain, no pain, no gain, hard work, dedication. Well, there was one sign up that says, if you want to box, train. If you want to be a champion, something like that, train harder. Because there's guys that just box, you got hit the bag and, they only go so far. Then you got guys that are on the elite level, but then you got the #1 guy. And that applies to the truth. You have to have that Vasily Lomachenko, Triple G, Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather. Those guys became, and I can met Bernard Hopkins. The list goes on and on, man. John Jones Bones. Or John Bones Jones. I met that guy, man. Very humble individual, all right? I said what I had to say. I said, how you doing? Nice meeting you. May the force be with you. And I went on about my business, man. And he stopped and he acknowledged it and he shook my hand, But that man trains. He gets into it, man. The guys that are on top, that are consistently on top, whether it be UFC, boxing, the NFL, LeBron James. Why you think LeBron James is where he's at? Because he puts the work in, man. Michael Jordan. Why do you think that he's considered? They're still buying Jordans. Niggas are still blowing other niggas' heads off with goddamn Jordans. Because of what this guy did. Because of what this guy did going back, more than 20 years ago? He was relevant in the 90s, but he's still relevant, man. Because of that passion, that fire. If you don't have that passion and you don't have that fire, you shouldn't be in here, man. And it's up to you guys that are on fire to get on the guys that are not on fire, man. And learn how to be an asshole. Okay, this is the Apostle Paul. Now the Apostle Paul was on fire. 1 Corinthians 9 verses 16, we're going to read down to about 19. It says, for though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of. For necessity is laid upon me. Yeah, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. It says 17. For if I do this thing willingly, and I look forward, that this is what I live for. I love doing this thing, man. It says, for if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward. But if against my will, a dispensation of the gospel is committed unto me. What is my reward then? Verily, that when I preach the gospel, I may make the gospel of Yahushua without charge, that I abuse not my power in the gospel. 19. For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I might gain the more. Now, what does that mean? Free from all men. He was a born free man, and he was a learned man. He came up under Gamaliel, which taught him the law. So he was a learned man, and the other apostles, Peter and them, they were not learned. When you go to Acts the 4th chapter, it tells you that, meaning they didn't come into any school. They wasn't trained to be, deep into the law. The apostle Paul was. All right. Okay, let's go from there to. Okay, this is another good one. Matthew 21 verse 19, and it says this. And when Yahushua saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it and found nothing thereon. And that's what the Lord going to do. When he comes back, he goes to see you different guys that's in the camps, and you really ain't did nothing. You did some half-ass shit. He going to notice that. It says, but leaves only, and said unto it, let no fruit grow on thee henceforth forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. So you see guys that fall off through the years, right? Then they'll have their own little thing. Then they're there for about a couple of months, maybe 6 months, and all of a sudden you don't see them no more. All right? Okay, let's go to this one. There's a couple of them. Okay, I'm going to go to 1 Peter 2 verse 2. It says, as newborn babes, desiring the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. You got to grow in this thing. You can't be in this thing for 20 years and you on the level of a guy that's been in this thing for maybe 6 months. A lot of you guys on fire for 6 months, a year, then you mellow out. And here 10 years go by and you still on that same level. Most I ain't dealing with a cat like that, man. A lot of you guys don't even know how to upload a video, man. Scriptures say make full proof of thy ministry, man. Let me click on the word grow. See, whenever the spirit jumps on me, if the breaking news happens, anything that jumps on me, I do a video, man. A lot of you guys don't even have cameras. A lot of you dudes don't, man, just get out of here, man. You guys that don't feel it, just get the hell, do us a favor and get to stepping, man. And you guys that are on fire, learn how to be an asshole. A lot of you guys are good actors too. Okay, I looked up the word grow, right? In 1 Peter 2 verse 2.
Strong's G 837. Auxano.
Auxano from the Greek. It means to cause to grow, augment. The word augment means to be bigger. You know, in other words, when you come into this truth, you're on a certain level. After a couple of years, you're supposed to get bigger. In other words, you're supposed to grow. Your spiritual growth is supposed to be at 5 years more than 6 when you came in 6 for the first 6 months. If you're not growing, you shouldn't be a part of this thing. to increase, become greater. You're not supposed to be in this thing for 6 months and all of a sudden, 15 years later, you're still basically a guy that, you look like a guy, you carry yourself like an individual that just came into this thing 6 months ago. The Most High, I got news for you. The Most High is not dealing with that, man. And he's going to give you your walking papers. You're going to get cut from the team. Like my man Fopi. Fopi, they're dead. They're dead, man. Dude did what, 3 years, 3.5 in, called himself an elder. Then he got tired. I'm tired. There's going to be a time where you ain't going to see us out here no more because I'm tired. Then I made a video, then all of a sudden he comes back talking about where's the love? The hell you mean where's the love, man? Well, you ain't a man of the Lord. You're not one of the chosen. The scripture said many are called but few are chosen. You were called but you were not chosen. Now make a video on that. To grow, increase of plants, of infants, of a multitude of people, of inward Christian growth. Okay, it says 1 Peter 2 verse 18, right? It says, servants, be subject to your masters. You know, the scriptures say, call not one your master, but the master meaning somebody that's over you. All right, so don't get it twisted. It says, with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward, meaning a guy that's hard on you, man. A lot of you guys fall off because you say, well, this guy looked at me the wrong way, and I don't know, he's too hard on me. Most I ain't dealing with your scriptures say, endure hardness as a good soldier. Okay, here's another one. Luke 19:21. If you thinking that Yahushua is a nice guy Eddie, he ain't no nice guy Eddie. When he comes back, he gonna prove that he's not a nice guy. He's not nice guy Eddie. It says Luke 19:21. For I feared thee. Let me go up. You can read the whole parable. I'm just going right to the point. Let me start at the 20th verse. It says, and another came saying, because they were given talents, money to go out there and make more money for the master. So this is talking about Yahushua, but it's a parable, all right? It says, and another came saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. Now that pound or that money represented the knowledge that the Most High gave you, whether he set up teachers over you or however it's set up. And when you get this knowledge, you're supposed to go out and teach this knowledge. You had teachers that taught us. You know, I came up under High Priest Ariah, King Mashah, Yaikwab, and then you had some of the other guys, Lahab and Yeshaya and Shaw, that they were teachers that taught me, man. I can't say Gazak. Gazak was never there. All right, he ain't there today. But anyway, Lahab is bugged out. Yeshaya is bugged the hell out. Shaw got demons on him. Ariah's not in his right mind. Yaikwab and King Mashah went into the spiritual realm. So we had to take up the slack, man. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, I'm going to read this real quick. This is St. John 4, verse 38. It said, I sent you to reap that whereon ye bestowed no labor. That means you had guys that were in the work, because part of work is reaping. You sow and you reap. Somebody sows, the same man can come back and reap. Somebody sows, another person can come back and reap. So it says, I sent you to reap that wherein ye bestowed no labor. Other men labored, and ye are entered into their labors. So the first men that labored were individuals like King Mashar, High Priest Ariah, High Priest Yaquab, and so forth, all right? So they're not around no more. A couple of them passed on. They got up in age and passed on. Ariah's up in age. When I ran into him a couple of months back, he was up in age. So these guys were the vanguard. They went out there on the highways and the byways and they taught the word. So we came in as young men. So now we're in that seat. Like Lahab said, I knew you were going to come in that power seat. But we are in the power seat, but Esau is still the power over us. So we're the vanguard now, man. And that's why we out there. We're passionate about this thing. And I've been in this thing for over 30 years. And still doing, I'm doing a video right now. I'm getting ready to go. We're going to do a sit down later. You know, the show that we do, Apostles of GMS, then we're going to, most high willing, we're going to be out there on the highways and the byways. And during the week, most likely, the Spirit's going to jump on me and I'm going to do some videos. Some impromptu videos. Okay, let me go back to Luke 19. It says, 22nd verse. And he saith unto him, out of thine own, let me read 21 again. It says, for I feared thee. Now this guy got the knowledge, he hid it away. He had the knowledge, you know, he might have brought it out when he ran into a camp, showed how deep he was, or he might have tried to impress upon a woman with this knowledge that he has. But when it comes to going out to the camp and really pushing his word, he got a bunch of excuses. There's a scripture on that in the book of Luke. And all with one consent began to make excuses. And one of them was that woman, man. That's the biggest excuse out there, man. A lot of you guys fall off. A lot of you guys don't want your face to be shown on video. You want to stand behind the camera and be all up in the cut because you ashamed of the gospel. It says, for I feared thee because thou art an austere man. And when you look up the word austere, it means a hard man. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapeth that thou didst not sow. And he saith unto him, out of thine own mouth will I judge thee. In other words, I'm going to judge you based upon what you said. You just told on yourself. Thou wicked servant, thou knowest that I was an austere man, a hard man, a mean man, taking up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore then gavest not thou my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required mine own with usury, with interest. You should have did a little something. It says 24, and he said unto them that stood by, take from him the pound and give it to him that hath 10 pounds. Take from the lukewarm guy the knowledge that I gave him, and give it to the guy that's on fire. And they said unto him, Lord, hath he 10 pounds? For I say unto you, that unto everyone that hath shall be given, and from him that hath not, even that he hath shall be taken away from him. So, anyway, like I said, we in house cleaning mode. Nobody's to come from out of state to New York as of right now. That's suspended as of right now. Any news company come up to you talking about they want to do an interview, you decline them. We ain't dealing with this damn devil's. We don't need. First of all, we don't need him, man. We don't need him. We don't need this goddamn media at this particular time. Hell, they want to come interview us. You better have your checkbook out. Yeah, that's what I said. You better have your checkbook out, because we don't need you. All right. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say Shalom, and the Most High is coming for you lukewarm brothers. Shalom.